suggestion from Thrift that's as fresh and new as spring.
Now, this sundae looks mighty good, doesn't it? But do you know that desserts like this represent more calories than the rest of your meal combined? Yet they have little nutritional value. It's desserts and between-meal snacks that really put on extra pounds. So to avoid these extra calories, we'd like to introduce you to Slim Mint chewing gum. Slim Mints allow you to control weight without bad dieting. You eat 3 full meals a day, but Slim Mints curb your appetite for excess food. Slim Mints between meals to cut down on snacks, and before meals to prevent overeating. You'll soon see the gradual change in your figure as you begin to lose weight, and you'll look and feel better too. So get fresh-tasting Slim Mint chewing gum today. Let your mirror show you the results as the pounds and inches start to fade away. Slim Mint chewing gum is on sale right now at all Thrift drugstores for only $1 a pack. Next time, remember to reach for a Slim Mint instead of a sweet. And next time you're shopping for health or beauty aids, remember that Thrift drugstores bring you the kind of savings you can't afford to miss. And now the weather report, today, tonight, and tomorrow. Presented by the Broadloom Carpet Mart of Pittsburgh, 935 Penn Avenue, and its branch store, 3rd and Market Street, Steubenville, Ohio. And I'm Eleanor Schano, hoping that this first weekend in August has been a very pleasant one for you. The weather's certainly been pleasant. Well, that is, if you like your weather hot, humid, and dry, because that's exactly what it's been in the Pittsburgh area. You know, it's been quite some time since we've had any rain around here. Those predicted thunder showers for last evening never quite made it, but the weatherman says that we can expect rain both tonight and tomorrow. Well, it was a different story in Pittsburgh a year ago today. The weather diary says that on August 4th, 1956, we had plenty of rain. As a matter of fact, it was a cloudy day with very little sunshine, and our highest temperature, 75 degrees. The highest temperature on record for this date occurred back in 1930 when the mercury reached a cool 99 degrees. Well, I'll be back in just a moment with the complete weather picture and a look at tomorrow's forecast. But first, I have a very, very special announcement that I know you'll all be interested in. Through a special factory purchase, Broadloom Carpet Mart can give you wall-to-wall carpeting in your home for only $299. Yes, for just $299, you get enough carpeting for 2 rooms and a hall, wall-to-wall. Now, this special price of $299 includes 40 square yards of famous make carpets and includes all the carpeting, all the padding, and all installation. What's more, you pay no money down and take 3 years to pay. Just phone tonight and a trained decorator will come to your home with a complete line of samples of carpeting. And for calling tonight, Mr. Moss of Broadloom will send you this lovely 7-piece salad set. The set is yours free for just calling to see carpet samples in your home. There is absolutely no obligation. You get it free whether you buy or not. So call tonight at Grant 10608 and ask to see samples in your home. If you live out of town, call collect. Call Grant 10608. Well, the big weather story around the nation tonight is a hot one. Most of the country is complaining about high temperatures and high humidity. And you know what the weatherman says about that? He says, well, it's just typical August weather, so I guess there's not much that we can do about it. Although the poor folks in Presidio, Texas certainly have something to complain about. The temperatures there went up to 107 degrees this afternoon, making that the hot spot of the country. And in comparison, the coolest spot of the nation was right up here in Big Piney, Wyoming, where the temperature never got above 36 degrees. Well, the little town of Cameron, Louisiana is making news again tonight because there, the poor people that have survived Hurricane Audrey are working desperately trying to rebuild the tiny fishing village. And speaking of more pleasant weather news, let's get right back home again because today was certainly a very pleasant Sunday in the Pittsburgh area. It was hot, but not too hot. The humidity remained low so that it was comfortable for most of the day. Our highest temperature was 83 degrees, and that was about 4:30 this afternoon. So far, the rains haven't come, but as I said before, they should be here sometime tonight or tomorrow. The weatherman also says that it's going to be a little cooler in Pittsburgh tomorrow. Our highest temperature, 80 degrees for tomorrow. Tonight's low, a nice, comfortable 60 degrees. The present temperature in downtown Pittsburgh, 71 degrees, and the relative humidity, 57%. Well, it's going to be a very pleasant day in Pittsburgh tomorrow, so have a nice Monday. Bye now. And don't forget, if you call tonight to see carpet samples in your home, you'll receive this lovely 7-piece salad set free. So call tonight for your free gift. Operators are always on duty, day or night, including Sundays. If you live out of town, call collect. Call Grant 10608. The wide world of female fashion can leave the outsider stunned and perplexed, amused or amazed, sometimes even shocked. Rudy Gernrich succeeded in bringing nationwide attention to his flamboyant talent with the topless bathing suit. Now, the publicity brought fame to this obscure California designer, although the look never quite caught on. But that was yesteryear. This is a swinging new season. It's time now to see what the go-go designers of '66 have unveiled. From Europe, where the fashion ground rules are laid, the word came from houses such as Balenciaga and Dior that skirts are short, knees are bare. Bill Smith, a young New York designer, introduced the see-through gown. He likes freedom for women and speaks of clothes veiling rather than covering. Bill Blass, for Maurice Rentner, stressed the nude look, but he adds in a tasteful way. Cut-out necklines that a woman of taste could wear, right, modest in front, but cut out in back. When the topless swimsuit was introduced, everyone said, "What next?" Well, this year, backs are in, or should we say, backs are out. Nude mesh, covers, or bears, as the case may be. It's a peekaboo transparent season. All the designers are in complete agreement. A woman should look like a woman. And let's face it, who can argue with that philosophy? Well, Dave, in as much as congressional action is almost a certainty now, how would you feel if the government would seize the airlines and force your members back to work?
I personally think it would be a great misnomer to our union as well as every other union, mechanics union, plumbers union, any other union that has to do with this government seizure. I think it's a hoax. It shouldn't be. It has nothing to do with the government. All we're on strike for now is to get a few more pennies to live decent like everybody else.
All right. Now, do you feel that by rejecting this original offer that this is going to weaken your future bargaining power with management?
I hope not. I hope it would make it stronger because they know how we feel. They know how strong we feel on this issue, and I think somebody ought to get on the ball and speak to these people in Washington. It's not right. Somebody's holding back some issue someplace. It's not fair for the airlines to make the money they're making and not divide it amongst the people who make the money for them.
All right, now, what do you think will happen next? Do you expect a new offer from the company? Do you expect government intervention? Or do you think this thing is just going to go on for an indefinite period of time?
I truly hope that the companies will make an offer and just leave the government out of it.
If, as an American, you have allowed yourself to become a bit blasé about the United States manned space program, you won't after talking with Jay Vehman. Jay is a protocol officer here at Cape Kennedy and has conducted all of us through the many complexes at Cape Kennedy and at the Kennedy Space Center. Jay, would you attempt to describe the typical activity that occurs here at the Cape on, say, a day before a major launch?
Our day before the major launch is comparatively quiet, as you saw today. You probably saw quite not very much activity out here. But on the day itself, things change very, very fast. For we have over 500 guests coming in for a typical launch out here at Kennedy Space Center.
All right, then when there is no launch scheduled, you're operating with more or less a skeleton crew.
Well, no, we still have a full crew in our office. However, we're a little more relaxed and have more time for a different set of VIP like you.
Well, Cape Kennedy has become a magnet for people all over the United States, and I imagine foreign visitors as well. Are foreign visitors welcome here at the Cape?
Foreign visitors are very welcome here at the Cape. We have them all the time.
Weather forecasting is complicated by many factors. There's been a change at the United States Weather Bureau effective today. Now, instead of specific temperature forecasts, Mr. Jacoby, the Weather Bureau chief, has chosen to use the temperature range in forecasting the weather for Allegheny County. Mr. Jacoby, would you explain to me just why you have taken this new approach to weather forecasting and what you hope to accomplish by it?
Well, we have changed to include a range in our forecast of temperatures because we believe that is the way that the temperature is. As an example, yesterday morning we had a low temperature at the airport of 20 degrees, where in our downtown office the low temperature was 27. And this is not unusual at all, that this happens many times, that the temperatures are as much as 5 to 10 degrees difference. There is a difference of 5 to 10 degrees between downtown and the airport. And actually in the past we've been forecasting a low temperature for the airport, which is much lower than many places in the city. And then we forecast a high temperature for the city, which is much higher than many other places in the suburbs. So as a result, we're not forecasting the temperature where the people are. We're forecasting temperature for the airport, which doesn't include the people of Allegheny County or the surrounding community.
In other words, the approach has been based on the fact that most people are in the suburbs at night, in the city during the day, and beginning today we will be forecasting a temperature range which will include an area how large?
Well, this of course includes all of Allegheny County and the area which is close to Pittsburgh. The greater Pittsburgh area is what we're aiming at.
Now, how well do you feel weather bureaus are able to specifically predict weather, specifically in not only temperature ranges, but the beginning of rain or snow or the passage of a cold front, for example?
Well, of course, that depends on the time element. For temperature range or for exact temperatures, if we were going to forecast a temperature for an exact location, such as a street corner or an airport, if we are within 4 degrees, we feel as though we're doing fairly well. And as far as the beginning of rain, if it is associated with a cold front and the movement of the cold front, sometimes we can be as exact as 1 hour in over a 12-hour period, where if it's a different kind of a rain, if it's a showery type of rain, why the timing of that may be a little bit more than that, maybe as much as 2 or 3 hours variation in how exact we can be in the timing of the beginning of rain.
Now, is it fair to the public to actually go out on a limb and say rain will begin at a given time, snow will begin at such and such a time?
There are times when we can do that, especially if we have a radar available that we can time the movement of the storm, which is close by. I think it's very good that we can give an exact time, or if we feel fairly certain about the movement of a frontal condition which is bringing in the rain. But at times when we do not have such information available, then I don't believe it's fair to say that it will rain at a certain time when we really don't know.
Do you believe that this temperature range is going to be interpreted well and understood by the public?
I believe so. I think that most people realize that the temperature isn't the same over all of the Pittsburgh area, and that they will understand that when they get up in the morning and look at their thermometer outside, that we are closer than we were if we had said the temperature is going to be 20 when actually their thermometer read 24. If we say the temperature is going to be in the low 20s or near 25, if it's within a few degrees of that, I believe they'll understand it. At least we hope so.
Well, Mr. Haughton, you know, there are many residents who remember vividly the disastrous flood of 1936. Could a similar situation ever take place again in Pittsburgh?
I think it would be false to say it can never happen again. However, we feel that with the Corps of Engineers flood control projects and a tremendous amount of area controlled by flood control, the odds of such a thing are very improbable. Of course, it's a question we never say it can never happen again.
One last question to you. What is the present condition of our rivers?
Our rivers are in good shape now. We have slightly frozen over conditions in the upper Allegheny, 1 to 2 to 3 inches in thickness. The lower Allegheny is skim ice only and shore ice. Nothing serious as far as our rivers.
And what is the snow accumulation?
Snow accumulation varies from 6 to 24 inches. Water content probably 1 to 2 inches. Okay? Okay, can I go now? I champ it a bit.
Joe, how long has it been since you've had a customer for an air conditioner?
Oh, I'm afraid it's been quite a while, Eleanor. Back
This-
till the end of summer, we'd say.
This would have to be a bargain hunter's paradise today. I bet you might even throw in that electric fan with the air conditioner.
Well, I think if anybody were to come in, we'd pack it on our backs and carry it out in person to get rid of it.
With the temperature 4 above zero out there, what would you think if someone were to walk in the door and tell you they wanted to buy this air conditioner today?
Well, stranger things have happened, but they might have to pick me up in a state of shock, and then I'd try and sell it.
Stranger things have happened, you just don't remember when.
That is for sure. I didn't mean to toss you a curve. I got in the house and some said,
here over the summer will actually help to relieve the annoyance?
It will help to relieve the direct annoyance of hay fever because of the less amount of pollen and also the less toxic pollen. But on the other hand, there's other factors may come into play because of the drought, such as the other irritant factors that come into the air when we do have, which is not truly hay fever, however.
All right, now what are the most common hay fever symptoms? We think immediately of itchy, runny eyes and the sneezing. Are there any other symptoms?
Well, it's interesting to note that actually you can have symptoms anywhere in the body. If you had symptoms such as, say, pleurisy or middle ear disease, which came seasonal every year over a number of years during the ragweed time, you might be having a middle ear ragweed reaction, so that it can come in many of the different tissues in the body.
In other words, then, such symptoms as even dizziness or an upper respiratory ailment could be directly attributed to an allergy at this time of year.
Yes, it could.
How do you measure the contaminants in the air? How do you actually go about getting this pollen count?
Well, this has developed over many years and many different types of technique. However, we follow the technique of the American Academy of Allergy in order that many men over the country can put their different results together and try to come out with a common denominator. We have a chrome-plated pollen trap up on above the 6th story of St. Francis Hospital, and it has to be clear above all the ledges so that you get free flow of air from all directions. This slide is put up with the technician every day, approximately 11 o'clock, and stays for 24 hours. There is a small amount of grease, which can be Vaseline or mineral oil, placed on the slide, and the pollen or any type of dirt particle or any other chemical which can be seen under the microscope will be impinged on that particularly greasy surface. Then we bring it down into the laboratory, and it's stained and put under the microscope, and we make a pollen count by going across the surface of the slide 5 areas, which measured across the diameter of the scope gives you 1 square centimeter slide surface, which the American Academy recommends to report.
All right, we're right in the middle of the hay fever season. What has been your highest pollen count to date?
Our highest pollen count to date has been 18.
And that was just recently, and today, what is the pollen count?
Pollen count today was 7.
Mm-hmm. Now, this device, this apparatus that you have on the roof of St. Francis Hospital picks up particles of ragweed, but it also picks up other chemical irritants in the air that would actually tend to annoy the allergy sufferer, right?
Yes, it does. However, we don't have any real way of determining accurately just what all those particles are, although we do count all other types of pollens and also molds, which are a very important part in the study of hay fever.
Doctor, what advice can you give to the thousands of people here in the area who are hay fever sufferers?
Well, I think they should consult their physician if they haven't, and certainly sometimes some of the milder cases are very well controlled with some symptomatic drug. A good antihistamine type of therapy is very helpful. Then there are many things that the patients can do themselves. And of course, you have to stay away from the site of heavy pollen concentration. And if you have to stay indoors practically all the time, if you're a severe sufferer and have had no help by immunization, that's probably what you have to do over the high time of the year, which comes from about August the 20th to about September the 7th.
From September the 7th. Now, actually, though, the season will not end until the first good frost. Is that right?
That's right. We usually make this cutoff of the 7th because we're pleased our patients are immunized. If they have a little trouble when the pollen gets high, they usually immediately go back and feel well when it's low. But a person that's not immunized will probably feel some reactions until they get the frost.
And from now until the 7th of September, though, will be the height of the snow.
That's the critical time, Elmer.
Thank you, Doctor.